And I think what helped with my like most recent breakup is that we had very different friend groups, very different like
Separate
lives.
lives, yeah.
Like of course that his friends became my friends and vice versa, but they were never we lived like separately from them. So it was never like, oh, all of us were in one friend group and that those were my friends too. It was like, okay, yeah, when I visited the Northeast, I would hang out with his friends and I loved them. When he, came to North Carolina, he would hang out with my friends and like liked them. But like it was never our friends. It was
Yeah.
very separate.
This is probably just due to you guys being long distance, and also we can stop talking about your ex after
Okay.
this. But when I posted that Alana Dunn was coming on and I was like, what are your dating relationship questions? I was shocked at how many people also voted for how to be independent in a relationship. And I feel like that's something you were so good at. And I don't know if you
Yeah.
were good at that in your previous relationship or what, but what are your thoughts on that? Or like just tips? And it could have just been because you were long distance too.
Yeah. No, but I think I'm a very independent person no matter what. 'Cause
Me too.
we were not, yeah, you're very much like
Very.
that. I can tell. Yeah. Like, I always think that that's so important because I think one, the relationship, and I'm not trying to say like you're going to break up, so be independent because when you break up, it's easier.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you don't break up with the person you're with. Like, obviously, that's not the goal. But if like one being independent makes you make decisions, like makes rational decisions and like the right decisions, I think, rather than decisions based out of fear.
So true.
Because when you are not independent and your life is totally dependent on that other person, if you do need to break up, you're probably not because you're so scared. Because there's so much more change. And breakups are scary regardless. Like you can be the most independent person in the world and breakups suck. But when your life is totally intertwined with them and like you cannot do anything without them and you've lost all your friends because you're only with this one person and don't have like your own life, then that's so much scarier. So that's one reason.
It's the reason. So then, like, okay, let's say someone's listening and they're like, shit, that's literally me. Like, I'm with him every single day and night, and I like haven't seen my friends in a while because I have like someone in mind, honestly, that literally went through this and then they went on a break and she realized, wow, I completely lost myself in this relationship and I'm now like don't know what to do with myself without him. And when they got back together, she was like, I want to focus on myself, what
Yeah.
I need, my own workouts, my own whatever, because just got so lost in their relationship and it was very scary when a break happened. So like
Yeah.
someone's listening and they're like, "Oh, shit, that's me." What would you say?
Well, one, I don't think it's ever too late to like gain your independence because I think anyone can do that at any point.
Yeah.
Married, single, whatever. However long you've been together. I think one thing, start having have your own friends and like even if you guys have the same friends, do things without each other.
Right.
Like go and get brunch with your girlfriends. Go and get drinks with someone. Go and like start doing things separately, I think. I think that helps a lot and start inviting people places. 'Cause so many times I think, especially I even fell into this where like I wouldn't invite anyone places cuz like anytime I would want to do something, I would just bring my boyfriend. Like I wouldn't invite my friends.
Interesting. Yeah.
And then I would only go hang out with my friends if like I was invited. Start being like, "Oh, okay, like I have a plan tonight or I want to go to this nice restaurant tonight. Instead of going with my boyfriend, I'm going to invite a friend." Even if you would rather be with your boyfriend. Like there's nothing wrong
Push
with
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's nothing wrong with wanting to spend time with like your partner more than other people. Like I think that that's fine. But like force yourself to like do things separately and also force yourself to kind of have separate routines. So like your morning routine shouldn't or I think shouldn't be like everything should be with that person.
Yeah.
And then like especially now people are working from home, so then you guys work together. And then at night routine, everything's with that person. Like I think it's nice to have a night routine where yeah, you guys cook together, you do something together, like whatever. But maybe like you read a book at night and he reads a book at night or something. I don't know. Or like
No, I agree.
in the morning, you go to your workout class, you go to your gym and then get a coffee, come back to your own thing. Like I don't think everything needs to be done together and I think you need to actually make an effort to make relationships with other people or like grow relationships with other people in your life.
Right. So it's not even just making an effort to like separate yourself from them, just focus on spending more time with your friends or with yourself.
Yeah.
My thing with this is always, like, communication, and if you don't feel comfortable to talk about this with your partner, I also kinda think that's a red flag,
Yeah.
personally, because drawing on my own experience, Ethan and I went to college together, not intentionally, but we ended up at college together and stayed together, and we were both so vocal with each other about, like, we need to make our own friends, like, I need to be going out to dinner with my friends at night, and, like, you go to college and you're trying to make friends and have a friend group and whatever, like, we can't be I
Mhm.
can't just always go and hang out with my boyfriend, and even after college, I would say, "Honestly, I haven't seen my friends in 2 weeks," and he'd be like, "Yeah, go to dinner with them."
Yeah.
Like, you need to be supporting each other in your own lives. If you're with a partner who makes you feel guilty for wanting to hang out with other people
Yeah.
and you don't feel you can have that communication, I actually think that's a red flag.
100%, and I think that stems from, like, I think jealousy, sometimes people get it confused with, like, "Aw, that's so cute," like, they want me and they want me, like, to themselves, like, that's kind of, like, hot or that's cute or whatever. I do think some people actually feel that way about
Yeah,
jealousy. To me, any form of jealousy is, like, automatic deal breaker, we will not work. Like, it is so I understand, like, there needs to be boundaries set, like, okay, maybe you shouldn't be, like, hanging out with, the opposite sex all the time, like, whatever.
right.
If you feel uncomfortable, okay, set boundaries with your partner. But when people are jealous, I think it stems from, like, wanting to control the other person, and, like, that is just gonna foster or, like, fester into something so much bigger in the future if you continue to let that grow. So just,
Completely.
like, nip jealousy in the butt, say, like, "Listen, these are our boundaries." I think that's perfectly healthy to have boundaries in a relationship because, like, I don't want my boyfriend getting dinner with a girl, like, that's
Me
not
neither.
like, I'm like, "Yeah,
Without
okay."
it like, invite me.
Yeah, I'm like, "That's not, like."
That's weird.
Yeah, but, like,
Unless it's, like, their best friend from growing up or something.
yes,
Obviously, there are other circumstances, but
100%, but, like, "Oh, I met this girl out last
at
night, I'm
work,
gonna get
yeah,
dinner." Yeah, no, you're
no.
not, you're not.
But I do think, like, it's wanting the best for the other person because I think some people get jealous. Like, let's say it's a guy and their girlfriend. The guy doesn't want their girlfriend going to hang out with their friends all the time because he doesn't have a friend group himself, so he
Mhm.
can get insecure. This is just, like, an example. I want the person I'm with to want me to go hang out with my friends. Like, if Ethan said, "You haven't seen your friends in a few weeks, like, why don't you go out Saturday night?" Like, that is, I think, so nice, and,
Yeah,
I
so
would rather
healthy.
yeah, exactly. So, I feel like that communication part is so key.